Hello guys, welcome back. Sorry if I'm raspy. I already recorded this like 2 or 3 times and then I finally figured out what I wanted to say. Loki was like, "You're not gonna work today, right?" And I'm like, "Of course I'm not gonna work." And then I saw a video and it kind of inspired me, so. Um, a lot of times, like, on our appearance, and this is something I talk about a lot, we do get attacked by other people. And the important thing to remember is they're attacking us because they don't love themselves. There's something in them they don't like, in themselves that they don't like, so they take it out on us, and they feel very justified in doing it because it makes them feel better for the moment to see us in pain. It makes them forget their own pain. This really beautiful woman I like to watch, and I'm not gonna mention her name because I don't know how she'd feel about a pagan channel mentioning her. She does reborns and stuff. And she recently went out, I think this video was recent, I don't know. And she got a tattoo. And it was amazing. I mean, I would love to have this tattoo. And her husband loved it, and her kids loved it, but her in-laws are just as horrible as my family, so, it went from celebration and everybody saying that is so awesome and being supportive to, total having them be toxic and throw their self-hatred on her. And I wanted to say you have to realize these people hate themselves, that's why they do it, but I didn't say anything because sometimes I am, like, a lot of times I spend on YouTube, I spend it on as the Lokean channel, and every so often I will comment on something as the Lokean channel, but I usually don't because I know we have a bad reputation. And it's not from actual Lokeans, it's just people lump every type of person that they see as unusual together, so they think, like, whatever. And the funny thing is, as I've been trying out different styles and everything for you, like today I have my hairstyle differently, and I've got my necklace on and stuff like that, I wanted a black lipstick in the worst way, and I tore my house apart and I could not find my black lipstick. Long story short, when I was growing up, I grew up in the 80s, and if you grew up in the 80s, you knew if you were black, everybody worried about you, and where I lived, there wasn't a lot of black makeup, blah, blah, blah. So I've always, like, over the years, I've looked at black lipstick and coveted black lipstick, but it's either usually 10 times what every other lipstick in the line is, or it's I would see it and it would be affordable, and I would get that sense of shame. I mean, my mother was a very wonderful woman, but she had that traditional idea since she sold Avon of, like, your spring or fall or winter, and these are the shades you can wear and the only shades you can wear, and this is what you have to wear, and this is the Bible of beauty, and you have to know it backwards and forwards. And I never liked the colors I never have. And my mother was, she was very loving, but she was very stuck in that mindset of, this is what they say you are, and this is what you can wear. You cannot wear black. Black doesn't look good on anyone. And I'm like, looks good on Paul Stanley. And because both me and my brother were Kiss fans, I'm like, it looks good on them. Yeah, well, that's stage makeup, honey. It's different. So, I've always had that mental block of, I can't get it. Like, I will go into a store and I will see it, like, I would be in Hot Topic drooling over the makeup because I love their makeup line. But I never felt comfortable getting it because my mother would always just be kind of looking at me like, are you getting that for Halloween? No, Mom. And I'm not depressed. I mean, I am depressed, but it had nothing to do. I mean, even as an adult woman, she'd be like, why would you want black? It was just one of her hang-ups that we could never get around. And so I decided today, as I was, like, doing edits for the stills, and I thought, you know what? I wouldn't look bad in black makeup. I don't think I would. I'm gonna order some. And long story short, I ended up ordering some. And it will take about a month to get here because it's coming from China. And which is okay, because I think all of her makeup now is probably made in China. I don't think any company makes it. I mean, there probably are companies that make it in America, or if you pay enough, they'll say it comes from Switzerland or something, but almost everything, almost all businesses are in China now. And I actually love it because usually I've had like a lot of success with stuff that's like directly from China. Like there used to be, we called it very lovingly, before people get mad, Chinese dollar store, because the family that ran it was from China. They would direct import a lot of stuff, a lot of makeup from China, and a lot of jewelry from China. And I loved it. I was in my glory in that store because all the shades would look nice and it was good quality makeup and it was $1. So, so I ordered that. And for me, that was like a big step forward to let go of that stigma of, oh, mom always said, and this is not my color, and this is nobody's color, and people are going to be saying, oh my god, your age, you're putting on black lipstick. You know what? Who cares? They don't pay my bills, they don't pay my taxes. So that would be the thing Loki would have us learn, that, if you decide to dye your hair purple, like the poem says, or to dye your hair blue, or to shave your hair off, or to tattoo your lipstick on, I would have to be so drunk, or to, tattoo your eyeshadow on or anything, go ahead and do it. It's like, life is so short, unless you're like me, and I would have like, maybe medical complications from having it done. And remember, they didn't understand stuff like they do now today, but, as I was growing up with heart murmur and everything, like, doctors were definitely like, no, because I always wanted a tattoo. And, I don't know if it would be a health issue for me or not. I am waiting and praying for the day that they can do them with, like, a laser or something, and, like, have, like, a self-healing gel pack and, like, seal it up, because then I would be totally fine. I would be good to go. It would probably be a couple $1,000s, but I would be totally fine and good to go. So I just thought I would make kind of like, it's not like a response video, but kind of remind you to truly be yourself. A lot of us like to think we are ourselves, but we forget that so much of our programming did come from childhood, did come from people we loved and cared about, and we wanted to please them. And we kind of buried that resentment. And it's been funny because I've been finding cards out of nowhere, like gift cards that I had kind of saved from my parents, because as I got older, my parents got their act together and like they went and they got the help they needed. And I guess it's kind of like maybe their way of showing me that they're watching out for me, or maybe it's like, the gods watching out for me. But it made me think, life is so short, and we have a shorter life expectancy in my family, and I'm already in my 40s, so I'm like, you know what? If I want black lipstick, I'm gonna order it. And you guys know I'm so fickle. By the time it comes in, I'm gonna be holding up on camera, why did I order this? Was I drunk? Which I wasn't. Was I feeling really gothy and sad? What was I doing that I ordered this black lipstick? But I've always wanted one. Long story short, I've always wanted one, and thank the goth community, there was this beautiful young lady that had it on, and she had the gray on actually. And there was like 20 different colors of this stuff. And I was like, you know what? Since you got money off for ordering 3 tubes, I was like, I'm just getting all black, and then I will have black forever, and ever, and ever. Because you can go up, what is it? You can go up with makeup, or is it you can go down with makeup? Which is it? I don't know. Put it in the comments below if you can remember. I know there's one that you can either go up or down with your makeup. Like you can use like, I think it's down. Okay, I think it's down. Like you can use like eyeshadow and then like use it as a blush, or like, I'm not sure though. I'm not sure. Please don't do that. But it's like advice I saw somewhere. I'll probably kill you. Don't do that. But yeah. Because I use like my my mascara to do my brows, because I'm like, I'm not going out and spending $12 for a pencil. I'll use my lovely dollar store mascara. But to each their own. But Loki would have us embrace the fashion that makes us happy, to not worry if people are going to say you're too fat or you're too thin, Are you too young? Are you too old? Or whatever? Oh god, I was probably not 10, but probably like way too young to some people when I was wearing makeup. I mean, it was the 80s. Every young girl was going around like Cyndi Lauper, and we all had all the punk stuff in our hair and like our eyebrows made up. And every girl from that time, I know you all remember having those ponytail holders with like the bright yellow feathers and everything else in them. And because we did not have weaves at those time, girls, seriously, we did not. So yeah, it was such a fun time to grow up in the 80s because nobody cared what you put on your face, and now everybody's like back to this really conservative attitude. The 90s sucked. So yeah, I will tell you that right now. The 90s ruined this country. The 80s were so much fun though to grow up in. I was blessed because, you know, you had jean jackets and jeans and all the clothes was like fun and bright and poppy and you could wear what you wanted. And it's just, I'm kind of happy to see that sort of resurging. Like some of the 80s style is coming back, which was kind of like a riff on 50s style, and it's people, some people are getting more free. Some people are always going to be conservative sticks in the mud, and you know, who cares about them? But I'm glad to see that kind of like coming back because you were more encouraged to express yourself in the 80s. It was more, I'm serious, it was more free time. I know people from the 60s and 70s say, you know, the way they lived their lives, they felt like that was a more free time. But for me, it was like the 80s because you could do what you want. You could definitely, you know, be your own thing. And even like Saturday morning cartoons were like so diversified. You'd have like the punk rock girl, and you'd have like the preppy girl, and you'd have like the football player. Kind of like tropes, yeah, but it was still fun. So, you know, if Loki would have you do anything, he would have you be yourself and to explore what makes you happy. Like, I will get ideas from time to time about dyeing my hair, and I would probably go for black if I went for anything. My one grandmother used to dye her hair jet black, and I mean jet black. I mean, this hair was a void that sucked all the light out of the room, jet black. And my hairstylist would say, you do know that that does not come naturally from people, because she used to style my grandmother's hair, and she said, that's hair dye. She wasn't like black hair, she was like, I think hair like mine, which is actually brown. And it's kind of brown, red, blonde. It's a weird family here. And my grandmother was dyeing her hair jet black for decades before it was considered cool. She thought it was really beautiful. So, you know, I've been kind of toying with that. It kind of skipped my mom. My mom liked to have that soft family color hair that we have. And I'm almost like, I wonder what I'd look like with black hair. Would I look, you know, would I look good? Would I look, you know, freaky? I've been told I have the kind of hair, it's so baby fine and the color it is, that if I dye it, I better like the dye because it is not coming out. So I have to think about that. I know if I went up to my hairstylist, she would probably do it for me because I can't see me doing it at home. I knew too many people in college that would do it, and you would do it wrong, and it would like ruin all their bedding and everything. I'm like, yeah, that's like one thing I would pay somebody so that I could try it out. So I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments below. It's just, I don't know. 2018 is a very strange year so far. I'm like, you know, trying out different things, stuff like that. I've known so many people are like dyeing their hair these beautiful like cobalt blue or like something else. It just looks really neat. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye.